Hello, everyone. I am back with another quick film review for you. And today I'm going to be taking a look at Wicked, which is actually Wicked Part 1. So just like Dune, it's a two-parter here. And I'm not sure why I watched this movie. I'm not sure why I'm reviewing this movie because I'm not that big on musicals. I can name maybe three musicals that I like. I can still give credit where credit's due, of course, and I can still recognize great work. And this one's pretty good. So it is directed by John M. Chu and written by Winnie Holtzman and Dana Fox, based on the stage musical Wicked, which came out about 20 years ago and was a massive success. And that was based on a novel as well. And of course, it's a prequel to The Wizard of Oz, one of the better musicals that I've seen in my life. And this one's well, it's almost as good. There might be even more songs in this movie than there are in the original Wizard of Oz. I think so. I could be wrong, but it seems that way. It seems like there's a lot of singing, and maybe that's just a subjective thing on my part because I'm not that big on musicals, and that's why I noticed that. But let's give credit where credit's due, right? So the film covers the original musical's first act, basically, talking about the origins of the Wicked Witch of the West and Glinda the Good Witch as well. And this film stars Cynthia Erivo, Ariana Grande, Jonathan Bailey, Ethan Slater, Bowen Yang from SNL, Marissa Bode, Peter Dinklage in a wonderful voiceover performance, Michelle Yeoh, always great to see her, and Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard. So, yeah, pretty cool cast. I'm very impressed with the acting here, and certainly the singing. It's almost like, well, of course the singing's good. You know, it's Ariana Grande, and you would expect good singing from this musical anyway. So I guess saying that the singing's good isn't much of a critique, right? It should be expected. It's kind of like saying the editing is good, or you know, the sound was good, things like that. But yeah, a lot of things were good about this film. Certainly the visual style, the visual effects, and everything were very impressive. A lot of these talking animals, you know, in the film, they look pretty good. You know, I mean, it's obvious they're CGI, of course. It's not like they look super realistic, but they look pretty good, I gotta say, overall. Now, in terms of the plot, now I'm not going to spoil anything, of course. By the way, I should have said that at the start, but I'm not going to spoil anything like usual these days. I'm not going to spoil anything. I'm just going to talk about how this film really begins. I'm going to talk about what they show in the trailers, and it is, you know, basically there's this school that Elphaba, that's the real name of the Wicked Witch of the West, Elphaba, who was born green. And she's different. She's an outcast. She winds up going to this school, even though she didn't intend to. She was there to help her sister, who's in a wheelchair, to go to that school. She winds up being friends with Galinda, later known as Glinda, here played very well by Ariana Grande. She's very aloof and very, you know, kind of, I don't know, the word is good intentions, but maybe over the top, you know, maybe just too good in some ways. That way, I guess she's a little, but she's also a bit self-serving too, you know. I mean, she's a little bit self-centered at times, Galinda. But of course, you know, that'll change naturally. Everybody knows what's going to happen by the end of this, you know, movie. But it does naturally end on a cliffhanger. Of course, that's no spoiler. Everybody knows that part one is going to end without an actual ending. It's going to be, you know, it's going to have a bit of a cliffhanger. So yeah, I mean, you know, I was very impressed with how they made this movie. There's you know, everything that would be familiar from The Wizard of Oz in this film, and the set pieces, and you know, the art direction, and certainly the choreography of all these, you know, dance routines and everything, very impressive. Yeah, I gotta say, like, you know, if I'm a fan of musicals, I'm loving this one. But I'm not that big on musicals, so for me, it got a little tedious at times. That's a subjective thing, I think, because it's not for me. It's not my style. So I'm like, okay, when's the song over? You know, that's not really a proper, you know, criticism in terms of, you know, a practical criticism here, critical analysis. It's more a subjective thing. So for me, I'm just going to leave it to the objective opinion and say, like, wow, everything was really well put together. And as a show, it's a great show. So even though it's not my kind of thing, It did leave me wanting to see the next part, so that's a good sign. Even a non-musical fan wants to see the next one. Absolutely, that's a success right there. So yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it overall. There's a lot of stuff that happens, a lot of magic, a lot of cool stuff that happens in this film. I won't give away, but yeah, I'd say by the end, I was pretty satisfied with the way that they made it for what it was. I was curious to see it. And even though I'm not the biggest fan of musicals, I still gotta give it the respect it deserves. I'm gonna give Wicked Part 1 an 8.5 out of 10. So, good job. And yeah, maybe I'll become a musical fan now. I don't know. Maybe I should watch more musicals. I don't know, but it's very impressive, and I'm glad I saw it. So, thank you everybody for checking out this quick film review, and until next time, peace.